All right. Turn that off. Turn that off. And stir my tea. Don't act like you don't stir your tea. Word up, Earth people. How are you? Stay true. How are you? Obviously, I can't hear you. I hope you're good. I had a challenging week. So today's date is April 9th. It is April. You know, we are definitely officially well within spring at this point, right? It's cold outside. But that's all right. We had really bad weather this week, tornadoes. Thankfully, they did not come in my hometown, but they did hit where I work, where I spend 4 days of my week, and in about 30 minutes, 40 minutes from there, it was utter devastation. So that's all in my brain. I spent the day with a team of people that I work with, cooking and trying to feed displaced families and relief workers and everything, and it was great. I'm grateful that we got to do that, but boy, was it exhausting. And my band had a show last night. It was on this really cool little rooftop in a town about an hour away, and it was so windy. I've got wind burn now, which is why my face looks like a beet. And it was freezing all night. It really wasn't freezing. I'm exaggerating. It was like in the low 50s. And for people who are not from this area, they think, oh, that's not cold at all. Yeah, add humidity to that and strong winds and see how cold it is, bitch. I do have a couple milestones, I guess, to share with you. One is I finished recording the audiobook for book one. I've recorded all the chapters. I do need to record a quick end credits thing, which I will get to soon. And of course, everything has to be edited and engineered or whatever, EQ'd. I don't know the words, and I'm a little bit tired because I did not get a lot of sleep last night. I've worked out a system. I get up every morning, Monday through Thursday at 6 a.m. I record 2 chapters of my audiobook before going to work in the town an hour away from my house in Statesboro. And then Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays are supposed to be writing days. I had 2 fantastic writing weekends back to back. And then last weekend was a... So today I have a meeting, friend coming over who I've done a photo shoot with, and we may do some photos today. He is hopefully going to be my Elliot in my book teaser video, which it's one of the things that I hope to work with him on today, is planning that, scheduling it, and everything. So basically, as an update, here are the 4 things that I've been working on. One is the most obvious, considering that I released 2 books in January and February of this year. I have been trying to learn how to promote and market my books, which means that there is a learning curve that I am trying to overcome, and all kinds of challenges there. So it's not just marketing and promotions that I'm working on. I'm actually learning how to do those things, which is, honestly, it feels like a full-time job. No lie, it feels like a full-time job, learning to do that. So that is one thing that I've been doing. I've also, obviously, like I've already mentioned, I've been recording the audiobooks for books 1 and 2. Finished book 1, and I'm ready to start book 2. That is Then, of course, it requires editing and all of these other things. Learning curves, again, on how to get them available to you and other people in the best ways. 3 is I've clearly been working on book 3 for a while, editing that manuscript. I'm really, really happy with where I am with it. I feel like I've got a really good system for bringing the manuscript, the 2018 manuscript, up to equitable, not value. What's the word? It's not value. Quality. Equitable quality with books 1 and 2. But that is still a process, and I'm still 2 or 3 edits out of the way. I mean, away from my personal edits, away from sending it to my editor to edit. Like, there's still lots of work to be done there. And the 4th thing that I've been doing is working on an anthology series. So I will get to that in just a second. But just to recap, in case there's a quiz. Learning how and actually marketing and promoting the books, including building my email list. A milestone is I now have over 300 subscribers, active subscribers to my mailing list. And I started that in mid-January. So January, February, March, 2.5 months, and I have 300 plus subscribers. I would say that's pretty good progress. That is slowing down now because a lot of the tools that I've been using, BookFunnel, free promotions, I'm assuming that a lot of the same people visit those, and so I'm not getting a ton of new names every week like I was at the beginning. So that has slowed down, but I'm still getting anywhere from 10 to 20, I would say, in any given week of new subscribers. I think it may be less than that. It may be 10 or less, 5 to 10. Anyway, but still, I mean, that's something. Now I have to learn how to do ads on Facebook, ads on Amazon. Where is the best place to spend my money there and my time? And the problem is because I had to shut down my freelance business. I mean, not like I would have work and lots of income now, but I had to shut down my freelance business, which means that I took another job with a pay cut, but it's reliable pay, and that covers my basic living expenses, or it should. But of course, gas is expensive and everything is expensive. Groceries, everything is expensive. So I don't have extra money to invest in marketing. Also, I have 2 books that I need to get copy edited, one copy edit, one develop edit, and then both of them proofed this year. And that's expensive. Oh, it's so hard. It's so hard. There's so many moving pieces, and this can't move until that moves. So you're just nudging things and trying to get the whole big piece of shit to move at the same time. It doesn't. One other thing I will say about the marketing is I have submitted the first 2 books and even the opening prologue for book 3 to a couple contests. The Rubery Award in the UK, and then, oh my gosh, another one in the US that I can't remember. If I remember when I'm editing this, I'll put it in the link. And it's not that I expect to win those. I don't know. That I'm trying to do anything that is cost effective, and those cost money. They're not free, most of them anyway. Yeah, so that's pretty much everything with the marketing and promotions. I do now have sales pages set up in BookFunnel, and I have my first sales promotions, book fair kind of emails, group promos with other authors going out starting May 1st. I have free Scarecrow for a free download and a free excerpt download of Shadow going right now. So that's where I've been. That's what I'm doing with marketing and promoting. So that is what it is. It's It's going to be a while. My plan right now, this is my beta reader's suggestion, Onion, the German. Her suggestion was that I use the book teaser video to promote the audiobooks when they're ready. So I'm going to try and do that sometime early summer, maybe. Who knows? Because everything takes time and money, of course. So the anthology, book 3, I've talked a lot about book 3, so I'm going to leave you there. You know what's happening there. If you don't, I'll definitely come back to that again. But the anthology, so I've mentioned perhaps that I'm planning to do an anthology series and bundle the anthology series with the first 2 books in the series as an ebook bundle and sell that to promote the launch of book 3. So the idea would be to use that bundle to promote book 3 for about a 2-month period leading up to the launch of Bones, The Singing Bones, which is the name of book 3. I want to publish The Singing Bones on October 31st, Halloween, obviously. So one of the things for that to happen, so if I am wanting to launch book 3 on October 31st, that means I need to launch the anthology on August 31st. August, September, October. Right, yeah. August 31st. I swear I can't remember the order of the months unless I say them out loud. That means that it is April. 1st of April. April, May, June, July. 4 months. I have 4 months to complete the anthology, which I do not have completed. So just to give you an idea of what the anthology is. So there are 3 scenes that were originally a part of 4 scenes. There are 4 scenes that were originally a part of A Greedy Shadow, which were either truncated significantly or they were removed altogether because they slowed down the flow or the pacing, or they were too much information off the main path that we were on with Elliot and Cora and Leah and Roland getting us to Dathan, or whatever reason. I can tell you what those are. There are 4 of those that will actually be included in the anthology. One is this is a story about Asha, Elliot's father. This is what was going on with Asha in the moments that Elliot is in the crag, in the shack on the crag at the end of Scarecrow. I am assuming you've read the books. If you haven't, I mean, I'm not gonna spoil everything, but there will likely be spoilers. Hey, what are you doing? Go away. Eugene, stop licking at me. He's literally licking at me. Stop licking at me. What is wrong with you? 4 scenes that were a part of A Greedy Shadow that were taken out, and I'm going to share those in the anthology, as well as a couple of sequences that are fuller tellings of stories that are kind of told in book 3, The Singing Bones. Meaning, all right, so here's an example. Gray, our main character, one of our main characters, she and the people that she's with meets an old man named Saul in a forest in the mountains, and he tells them a story about creatures called fire sprites. And the whole point of that story is to get us to a place where he can explain something about the character Gray and let her know where she is and what's going on with her. And it's a fascinating story, and I love it for the texture and everything, but I want to trim it down and speed it up. But what I also wanted to do was to slow it down and tell a broader, larger version of that story, but I couldn't do that in the novel because it would slow it down. So instead, I am writing the full story in the anthology, which I've written, and then in Bones, it will only reference the high points. Does that make sense? So I have to do that edit. And then there's a fairy tale, a Babby's Tale, folk and lore story called Leo and the Magic Bean, which is a story told for children in the world of the Glint and Shade. And I believe that we reference it very quickly in A Greedy Shadow. But in The Singing Bones, it originally was written out in its entirety. I wrote a short story that is connected to both Scarecrow and Shadow, but introduces us to a new character named Natty, which I love. Natty and Bream. And I love these two characters, and Natty will become someone we get to know really well later in the series. And it was a way that I could kind of demonstrate that the Kolos, which is a coming of age, right? A Kumatu in Galbraith, is specific for boys. But the Duma, the Broidane, which are a type of Duma, would have similar Kumatus, specifically like the Kolos, in different regions with different people groups, often for different purposes, but all for the sake of feeding the dragon, which we know in the epigraph or whatever the beginning words are of the Scarecrow Hunters. It says, and thus fed the dragon. Whatever that is. So anyway, I'm losing my train of thought, and I'm about to be done because I'm done. And since I'm the writer, I'm the author, it's my call. When it comes to reading, that's your call. Excuse me. Listen, you want to get up here and psych out on me again? I will punch you in the nose. You hear me? Obey. Not obey. Be kind. Kindness matters. Shit. Uh-oh. I gotta go.